In the mid-90s, Sony revolutionised the gaming industry with a sleek grey console that went on to deliver iconic titles such as Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid. The PlayStation itself would go on to become a cultural hit, cementing its place in gaming history as one of the most beloved consoles of all time. Fast forward to 2018 and Sony announced the release of the PlayStation Classic, a miniature version of their iconic console, and they said that it would come preloaded with 20 games. The announcement sent waves of nostalgia ripping through the gaming community, and in the months leading up to its release, excitement reached a fever pitch as gamers speculated about which titles would be included on the PlayStation Classic. Would it have some timeless hits like Crash Bandicoot or even Spyro the Dragon? Or maybe it would go all the way to some cult classics like Soul Reaver and Tomb Raider. The anticipation for this console reached all new levels. However, when the PlayStation Classic finally hit the store shelves, the reception was mixed to say the least. While some praise the console for its faithful recreation of the original PlayStation experience, others criticise it for its lacklustre selection of games. And speaking of the games, let's take a look at some of the personal highlights that found their way onto the PlayStation Classic's library. Right, first up we have Metal Gear Solid, Hideo Kojima's masterpiece that redefined the stealth genre, especially thanks to its cinematic storytelling, its innovative gameplay mechanics, and the unforgettable protagonist, otherwise known as Solid Snake. Taking on the role of Solid Snake, players must infiltrate a nuclear weapons armed facility in order to stop the group only known as Foxhound. It's a tale of espionage and betrayal, and it's a firm favourite of mine. Following this we have Tekken 3, the third installment in Namco's beloved fighting series. And with Tekken 3, it delivers fast-paced action with some fluid controls, as well as a diverse roster of characters.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Next up, we have Ridge Racer Type 4, Namco's iconic racing title that offered blistering speeds as well as a pulse-pounding soundtrack. With multiple modes, customable cars, and some stunning visuals for the time, Ridge Racer Type 4 remains a must-play for racing fans. Even today, Ridge Racer Type 4 is still legendary with old-school gamers, and always entices new players to pick up that controller.
Wow, a little heart and everything.
But anyway, no PlayStation lineup would be right without the original Resident Evil. And with the PlayStation Classic bringing the director's cut to the hands of gamers, Capcom's survival horror still continues to terrify players with its atmospheric setting and gruesome creatures. As a member of the Elite Stars team, players must uncover the dark secrets of the mansion while dealing with the monstrosities as well as hordes of zombies. Oh god, every bloody time. You would have thought I'd learned by now. Well, while I recover from that nightmare, let's take a look at my final game of choice. Every time. Final Fantasy VII was a landmark title in the RPG genre, and it followed the epic quest of Cloud Strife and its allies as they battled against the sinister Shinra Corporation. With its captivating story, its memorable cast of characters, Final Fantasy VII remains a timeless classic. And such was the popularity of Final Fantasy VII that it went on to inspire spin-off games as well as movies, and even found itself being remade for a modern age.
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Is the PlayStation Classic actually worth the money? On the surface, the console offers a tantalising glimpse into gaming history. However, while it's certainly fun to revisit some of the classics, gamers couldn't shake the feeling that the PlayStation Classic itself fell short of its potential. And when you consider the ease with which the console can be modded, it does make you wonder if it's really worth the investment. Now that's a good point. Do you modify the PlayStation Classic or do you leave it in its natural format? Well, that's ultimately a decision for each individual gamer to make. Whether you choose to embrace the nostalgia of the preloaded games or venture into the world of modding, one thing is for certain, that the PlayStation Classic offers a trip down memory lane that's just too hard to resist. And there you have it, a small tour of the timeless classics make up the PlayStation Classic library. From epic RPGs to heart-pounding racing games, this mini console does pack a punch that's sure to leave you feeling nostalgic for the good old days of gaming.
Excellent!
But anyway, come back next time for a different style of video where I give my own tribute to the legendary man that is known as Akira Toriyama. Thank you so much for watching and see you next game.
Super Retro Force.